Extra Life was born, it just occurred to me that gamers should be able to do the things they love to help sick and injured kids as well. And so the funds that Extra Lifers raise can go to a variety of purposes in the local area at the local hospital.
So maybe your extra $20 or your extra $50 goes to curing 87% of children with leukemia.
62 kids like me enter a children's hospital every minute.
And I was one of those kids. You could save their life too.
Play games, heal kids.
She was the flyer. She's the one that they would, get and throw into the air.
She was this cute, petite, tiny little girl with just a head full of long blonde hair.
She had just gotten weak. I said, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "You're a tumbler. You can tumble and do backflips." It progressed from that to she fainted a couple times. So I took her into the doctor the next day, and they immediately sent us to Texas Children's Hospital.
Victoria was diagnosed at the age of 11 and a half with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
First time I met Victoria, we were doing a radiothon at a radio station in Houston, Texas. She was very full of energy and was already considered a long-term survivor of leukemia.
At the end of 2.5 years, when Victoria's treatment was over, they performed another spinal tap and a bone marrow test. She relapsed again. During this time, Victoria contracted a fungal infection, which is from a very low immune system.
I asked her what she wanted for Christmas, and she said, "I'd really just like to get out of this hospital and go see Christmas lights. Christmas lights are something my family and I go see together all the time, and I can't even leave to go see Christmas lights." And after about 10 minutes, we rolled back upstairs to her room, and we had our picture made in front of a little Christmas tree. And I said goodbye. In that picture is one of my most prized possessions, because it was taken just moments before I saw my friend for the last time.
Victoria passed away on January 21st, 2008, after a 4-year battle with leukemia, failed bone marrow transplants, and fungal infections.
Sitting at her funeral, I made up my mind that I needed to be doing this not just a couple days a year with a radiothon, that I needed to be doing this with my life.
Doc wanted to do something special in memory of Victoria.
It just occurred to me that gamers should be able to do the things they love to help sick and injured kids as well. And so Extra Life was born. 1,200 gamers showed up on October 15th in 2008. Each and every year afterwards, it continued to grow. Gamers responded by being able to game for their local hospitals. Gamers aren't that pale kid in mom and dad's basement. They're mom and dads, they're aunts and uncles.
A young child to an older adult, anyone could be involved in Extra Life.
The funds that Extra Lifers raise can go to a variety of purposes in the local area at the local hospital. It might buy an isolette for a baby that is born the size of a cell phone and has to fight for its life.
I can guarantee you that money goes directly back to these children to keep this from happening again to someone else's child.
Getting involved with Extra Life is really simple. You just have to go to the website at extra-life.org, put in a few details in there, join a team if you'd like to, or create one. After that, it's as simple as fundraising with your friends and family. Let them know why you are doing this. They should know that the money you raise is going to stay local in your community.
Larsen syndrome is a connective tissue disorder, so all of the joints of my body are dislocated. I have difficulties with my airways and my breathing, and I've had around 20 plus surgeries for me to, 1, live, 2, for me to have my independence. I always joke volunteering is my sport, and my wish was that Chris Pratt would help me with the projects that I do for Seattle Children's. He offered up the experience to go visit him on the set of Jurassic World 2 in Hawaii. All of the proceeds that came in for the raffle went to the orthopedics department. We ended up raising over $828,000. I have such an amazing support system around me. I've got my parents and my little brother and my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and my grandparents, and then I also have my family at the hospital. I've got those nurses and doctors that every time I go, I have to go say hi to them. Without them, I wouldn't be here, because they're the ones that are inspiring me to give back and give what I can to the hospital.
Polycystic kidney disease is a big one because you have cysts on the kidneys, and it reduces kidney function exponentially. It's not a buzzword disease, not everyone knows about it, and so that could use money, but at the same time, I have lived my life as a transgender teen on the front lines of the LGBT community. I've been going to Cincinnati Children's since I was tiny, and I still go, and they help me with my kidney disease. They help me with like other things that I had when I was a kid. They helped me with transition, which was a big one, and they've just been there every step of the way. I can't imagine a journey without Cincinnati Children's. Adults, like, they can access hormones on their own, but children, they need their parents' permission. They need like a whole support system in order to get that going. And that's why I think it's really important that it's at a children's hospital.
My name is Tobin Hawes, and I am a survivor.
It all started out when Tobin wasn't himself. Something wasn't right. I took him to the doctor, and she said he had fluid on his ear. She said, come back in 2 weeks if he's not right. But 2 days later, he threw up 3 times in a row. He wasn't eating.
Tobin has an ependymoma, so always when you mention that, it sort of comes like an explosion. It's a shock.
I took him to be seen by a pediatrician, and she took about 5 minutes and ordered a CT scan.
That's an especially tricky tumor because it grows beside the brainstem, and that's one of the toughest areas to do surgery.
And I remember getting a phone call from my wife at lunchtime saying, oh, we are just here at the hospital, Tobin is getting a CT scan. I'm like, oh, you just got a cold, an ear infection, that's a little bit odd.
Tobin's tumor was nestled between cranial nerves, so when we removed it, if we went too high, his face would get numb. If we went too far in front, his face wouldn't move, and if we went too far below, he wouldn't be able to swallow.
It took Dr. Dirks a good, I guess, 8 hours or so to remove the tumor that was really embedded in the center of his brain. He basically saved his life.
Three years later, an MRI showed it had grown back significantly. Miraculously, surgery was possible, so he had the surgery, and then he was on chemo for 1.5 years, and then it came back. It showed that the cancer spread. It was scarier to know this cancer, it's growing, it's active.
During chemo, you lose your hair. You take 2 different temozolomide capsules, and then you have to take etoposide, which is another type of medicine, and it tastes like the worst thing ever. It just tastes really bad.
We always have to give people in such terrible circumstances some hope. Today, in 2010, we can do a lot more with these brain tumors than we could do over the last couple of decades. We have better surgery, we have better tools at our disposal, we have better imaging. The best starting place after surgery is to have no tumor there. So if we can get to that spot and have the patient doing well, that's a huge hurdle to cover, and then we can start saying, look, we've gotten him through this first hurdle, there's hope here. Everything's checking out really well. I thought it was time for Tobin to get back to playing hockey, but I told the parents to buy the most expensive helmet they could afford. Every kid is special, and what we want for them is to have a normal life. Even if they have a disease as bad as a brain tumor, we want to encourage them to do the best they can, to have fun, to enjoy life.
He's in the best hands at Sick Kids. Anything that the kids need help with, assistance with, it's taken care of there.
Fundraising is absolutely critical to the everyday workings of the hospital. It makes us able to have the best tools at our hands when we do surgery.
One of the things that I like about Children's Miracle Network is that when the money is given to Children's Miracle Network here in one community, it stays in that community.
In a way, it'd be nice to become out of a job as a neurosurgeon for brain tumors. That would really be the big wish, is if these kids could just come in, we give them the right medicine, and it disappears, and they don't have to go through surgery.
When I go to Sick Kids, I try to encourage kids that have cancer not to give up.
Back when Tobin first started treatment, we were introduced to the Bravery Bead program. What they do is each of these beads represents a treatment or a procedure. On Tobin's Bravery Bead necklace, there's 31 MRI beads. There's 63 radiation beads. There's countless finger pokes and blood transfusions and emergency visits. It's a lot. There's well over 500 beads for Tobin here. I'm so proud of the way that he's overcome his challenges.
His babysitter was driving to our friend's house when she took a turn too fast and she drove off the road, hit our neighbor's mailbox, and flipped over the UTV. Eli and I were both ejected out of it.
I see the UTV overturned. I see Eli. He was sitting in a friend of ours in her lap, and I see his face. It was bleeding, and he said, "Daddy, go see Shane. Shane's got a boo-boo on his arm."
I had a hole in my right arm that went straight to bone. I had to have skin grafts. I also had some burns on my head, broken nose, or oral fracture in my eye.
You know, we kind of had a man-on-man defense where I was with Eli and Simi was with Shane most of the time. And when Eli arrived, originally because he was solely a burn patient, he was supposed to be on the burn unit floor. They understood the fact that I had another son there, that we had both of our boys there, and they did allow Eli to also be on the same floor in the same unit as Shane, just a few doors down. I mean, anything that we asked of them, they were more than willing to do for us.
Our children's hospital is Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. Someone had gotten us walkie-talkies, so whenever one of us wanted to talk, all we had to do was pick up a walkie-talkie.
Shane, are you feeling better?
Yes, Eli, I'm feeling better.
Every time I'm in line now at a store and they ask if I want to donate to a children's hospital, I donate whatever I can.
Extra Life was born. It just occurred to me that gamers should be able to do the things they love to help sick and injured kids as well. And so the funds that Extra Lifers raise can go to a variety of purposes in the local area at the local hospital.
So maybe your extra $20 or your extra $50 goes to curing 87% of children with leukemia.
62 kids like me enter a children's hospital every minute.
And I was one of those kids. You could save their life too.
Play games, heal kids.
I raise money for Dornbecker Children's Hospital with lemonade stands. The Trailblazers built a lemonade stand when we were shooting a commercial with Terry Porter. The last time I donated to the Christine and Gary Rude Family Pavilion, which is for sick kids that stay for a while or they live far away. Giving back to others is fun when you do it with your friends. It feels really great knowing that other people care just as much as I would, and they just know that it's easy to give back. I had strep throat, and then I went to the hospital and they told me I had toxic shock syndrome. They're all nice and they're not overwhelming and scary. They just kind of treat you like a normal kid. 3 years later, I have no issues. I want to be a doctor when I grow up because I want to be able to help other sick kids in the future like how they help me.
Since the day when I took her from the hospital, she never stopped crying. I had to sleep her on my arms every single night. Then when I put on the crib, she started crying, so I had to hold it. I do the same thing every day, every night, for 40 days. So the pediatric came and she said, you know what? I asked her, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on, because she speaks Spanish, so I can ask her. And she says, something wrong with your baby, but don't worry. So she sent me to the children's hospital. They had to do x-rays on the bone. So when they do the x-rays, that's when the big mess starts. The whole left side is broken. All the ribs broken. All the arm broken. When she showed me the x-rays and I saw the bone like that, she said, when you change the diapers and you pull in, they broke him. I feel so bad. I completely broke her leg every single day. Every single day.
The bone has something in it called collagen. Collagen is the rebar, which is what goes into cement to make it strong. The bone produces calcium, but it's just brittle. It just doesn't have a normal strength to it. A careful mom unbuckling them, taking them out of their car seat, getting them in and out of the bathtub. Routine daily activity will sometimes break their bones.
She always has to wear those braces.
The nature of her legs are not strong enough to support full-time activity. Kids with mild osteogenesis imperfecta who get, say, 15 fractures, we fix them all and they're pretty normal as adults. She's had so many broken bones and she has so much deformity accumulated over the years that no, she's never going to be a normal walker.
I was about 6 years old and we were going to church. Called my dad. I remember telling him, hey, Daddy, I can stand up now. And I was walking, and I slipped in the water. I broke my leg, and I was crying so bad that I wish that I had died when I was born.
When you're taking care of kids, what is critically important is that you remember and focus on their heart, because that requires just as much healing as any other part of their body.
Our services here with our specialists, our pediatric surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, they have made her life as successful as it is because they've been able to provide specialty operations and surgeries and such that have given her the ability to grow as normal as she can, to make her bones a little stronger on the inside.
Taking care of special kids like her that's our thing. The whole team here, from our therapists to our nurses to the people who check Milka in when she comes in the morning, that's why we're here.
If she didn't have Children's Hospital here, she would her family would probably have to move to Los Angeles or, Sacramento or the Bay Area just to get care.
When I saw in the water, it's the safety place she got.
I feel like I can walk because I stand on the water and I can stand and not fall.
I not worry about it in the water. When she was in the water, Mommy, I'm here. Everybody says, it looks like a mermaid. I'm a mermaid.
It's an unfortunate disease that she has. However, I think that certainly has defined Milka in that it's made her a very, very strong girl.
She's just battled through everything and done everything anybody could ever ask of her.
For her and the things that Children's Miracle Network funds have been able to do to help her in her care, it's critical. It's made a huge difference in her life.
Eric's disability is very visual. It's with prosthetic legs, and when he gets into a sled, it's even more visual because he takes his legs off and then hops in his sled. The sled hockey helps Eric in a couple ways. This is a competitive sport, and you keep score, you win, you lose. It's true hockey.
Our family was on vacation in the summer of 2000.
We'd been away for the whole week, up at the lake, swimming and playing. And one time when I was changing his diaper, found 2 little tiny purple dots on his bottom, which really raised my alarm. Within minutes after that, he had a little tiny pinprick rash all over his chest. The nurse who was there to intake us instantly recognized this rash, and they sent someone right away to call the medevac helicopter.
Eric's condition was changing right in front of our eyes as we were traveling, and so we understood the importance of getting him back here to Rainbow Babies and Children's as quickly as possible.
His blood pressure was low, his heart wasn't working well, his capillaries or his blood vessels were leaking, so he became very edematous.
He had lesions all over him. He had lesions on his face, his hands, his legs.
4 hours later, this terrible rash, no blood pressure, and your organs literally completely shutting down.
We were able to stabilize him in terms of maintaining heart rate, keeping blood flow, but we could not stop the progression of the blood clotting.
The next week or so is just a blur of him being in the intensive care and being sedated and being on a respirator and them telling us all these medical terms of everything that was wrong and all the fears that there were and the low blood pressure and not knowing hour to hour or day to day if he would even survive.
The hardest part was the amputation.
And the surgeon came back and sat down next to me and held my hand and said, "Then we're gonna have to amputate both of Eric's legs."
And I actually, had to sign the form for them to take his legs. The good thing is that's what made him better. That once they amputated, then everything turned around.
And the next day, when Eric woke up, to see our little boy back, to see him smile and laugh and play, there was never any looking back from that point on.
Eric taking his first steps in his prosthetic legs are probably, that's the reason we work here. He went upstairs when he called them his bendy knees, and he could go up a step and bend. And, his mom had called me and said, he went up a stair.
When I see Eric now, I think he's a miracle. He really surpassed any expectations from when he first came into the hospital.
And for him to come back and to be the vibrant kid who can actually play golf a lot better than I can is really a true miracle.
And I think his determination and strength is why he's here.
Eric doesn't let anything slow him down. He wants to do everything that he can, and even the things that he can't. I don't give up because it will never make it better.
People ask me, how can you go back to that hospital where all those terrible things happened to you? And they don't understand what a wonderful relationship that we established with all those caregivers at Rainbow Babies and Children's. And those people really legitimately cared about our son and about us. You never know when you're gonna need a specialty hospital, and you just think you're never gonna need it. They make a real difference in lives of children and families every day.
We can't thank the Children's Miracle Network enough for their support of Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital and all the children's hospitals across America.
Children's Miracle Network provide funds to hospitals that regular hospitals would never have access to.
What's more important than the care of children? What's more important than the care of children when they're their sickest or at their lowest point? Children's Hospital are a safety net for so many families across this country, that the Children's Miracle Network is a part of the support that, quite frankly, we need day in and day out to take care of these important kids and their wonderful families.
I like to help the hospital because they saved my life, and I want to help to save others.
He's so happy and positive, and it's all he knows too, so we just, like he always says, we roll with it.
I have a thing that shows me how fast I'm going, so it should look like a race car because it can go 6 miles an hour.
He has a pulmonologist, a cardiologist, a gastrointestinal doctor, a nutritionist, a neurologist. He's got a whole team that just follows his wheelchair. He calls the child life specialists the play ladies. So they come into the hospital and they brought him a switch and he lights up.
Lego Marvel, I'm almost done with that game on my DS, and now I'm doing the second one on my Switch. Pokemon, Star Wars, Transformers. Fortnite's pretty much a game that's trying to get you addicted to it.
All right, everybody knows. Most people presume that was going to be the case anyways, so go team. on the same fucking wavelength.
Pew.
Are we going, Lurch?
Connected. Sound muted. Sound resumed. Disconnected. Connected. Channel switched.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with you guys for the ride up there.
Yeah, sounds good because we have a light truck. We're down another one, so it's down to 5 now. But we have a medic, AT, AR.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Cool. For some reason, my everything was disabled on TeamSpeak for a second there. I had to fix it.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Whale, worst case Ontario, I could always just like give you one of my runners as a shooter. I got 2 of them. I
We'll
probably
see how
only need
often
one.
we use them after phase 1.
For sure.
Maybe they'll see a lot of use, maybe they won't.
They're also medics as well, so you know, if you see one of them and you need a hand, feel free to rope them in. I'm gonna go C3. I'll be right back.
It could be a thing, Lurch. Okay. I was gonna say it could be a thing where you send us downrange and we just stay there for a while until there's a message passed back, you know?
Oh, no, the TJ has to reconnect.
What? Hello.
Hi. How you
We
doing?
have PTSD ammo, not dinner plates.
I'll go find fucking Kilo and tell him. All right, well. Well, load up in your vehicles. I'm going to ride with 2.
I'll stick with you.
You guys have
Okay,
any
is that
gripes
run?
about how I've been organizing AFI? About the Discord setup, about where the
Team 2 is
briefings are and
down
how
to
they're
5.
listed and pinned
I've
and all
got
that.
basically 8, 5, and 6.
Even the sign-up sheet?
Okay. They only have, they have no DP ammo in here, only fucking PPSH.
Okay.
So we have no additional magazine or mags for that there.
So how much are the squads starting with here? Let me check the equipment tab.
How much do you guys got in your stack here?
So I have 1.
I got 6.
6.
Okay, but if you guys are okay from the get-go, you think? So what's gonna happen is, we are relatively early gonna fill up a truck with ammunition and medical supplies, dropping it and driving it to company rendezvous 1. So
My team is under strength. I think we spawn with 500 rounds.
Okay.
Spread across 3 guys.
I think what we're going to do then is through the step off there, I'm going to have Bravo 3, since they have a machine gunner and an assistant machine gunner. Maybe you leave your dinner plate with Bravo 3, and then you guys push along to supplement Team 1's movement. And then once we all get back to Green Trench and Bravo 3 makes it back across, your guy can just regroup with you there. Because then if
You want
he
me to
runs
send him somewhere?
basically, I'm saying is like you and Team 2 and Team 3, you guys going to be up here together within,
Yeah, and we made
30
second
feet of
cross.
each other?
Well, 3 has a BOF up.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is if you'd like to, you could leave your machine gunner with that base of fire, and then we can just get him up with Team 3 and myself when I move across, and we'll reinforce you guys with your machine gunner at Fox 4.
Sure, but at that point we should just cross with 1 because there's only 3 guys left in my team once I leave my AR with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then, okay. If that's the case, yeah. All right, go with 1. That's probably the better bet, and we'll leave 3 up as base fire.
I'll drive.
Oh, are we good to go?
Let me know.
2 hopping.
Yeah, you're low on machine gun ammunition.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Are you seeing? I'm not seeing any markers on the map. Are you seeing markers on the map?
I am. Yep.
I'm not.
You should leave and come back then. Do not lose. Maybe like poverty for breakfast.
Yeah, I've still got no markers on my map, Lurch.
It's very strange.
I don't either, if it makes you feel any better, Sam.
I got markers on my map. You all crazy. You all nuts.
All I have is Op 4 start, Target 1, and Supply Depot.
Huh.
Works on my machine. It's all the weird Sven.
Yo, fucking losers!
Shut up, Sven. Hey, Moose.
Yeah.
Hey, Nem?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm stuck here too.
Well, I think things are running. We just missed the boat. We'll have to catch up.
I hear a whistle.
Yeah, let's just head
towards that direction.
We're supposed to head northwest, so.
Rifles on backs. It sucks for me because I'm the runner, so I need to find a way to relink with Lurch because I need to make sure I can pass, you know.
Yeah, I kept getting the same error that Sang did. I had to reinstall Dynasound, and it looks like that fixed it. Hopefully.
I got an error about something AIO. I don't know. I did a check on the mod. Now it seems fine. So.
Yeah. So that's IFA, the World War II mod.
I hear a truck.
Oh, hear a truck. We'll catch up with them.
Maybe let's try and merge down to the roads. They have line of sight. They might come back for us, they see us. I'll tell you this, if I get booted with that same error again, that might be it for me. Because at this point, it's been an hour of sitting around, you know? We're supposed to start at 1 with like 15 minutes of briefing, and here we are an hour later. This is already off to a bad start.
You lose stamina slower if you walk backwards, weirdly enough. It's just two dudes running backwards down a hill.
Yep. World War II realism at its finest. Also, you are rubber banding.
Yeah, so are you.
That's great.
I'll take a short stand break at the top of the hill. The cat has been harassing me all morning.
Yeah. No cat will ever harass like Casanova, though.
No, this is true. This is different though. She like flops over on my hand and on the keyboard, demanding attention.
Oh, hey, we got a truck.
Hey, thanks.
Hello.
Hey.
You respawners?
Yeah,
No,
crash
well,
rejoin.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
Right.
Yeah, we need to get to Bravo.
Right. Yeah, I'll take you up to Company Rendezvous 1, and you can head off after Bravo line from there.
Okay, thanks.
Sick.
Okej, jag tar den här bilen.
Ja, gör det. Did inte really expect any response, but on main push the way. Some of the trucks, so a little vulnerable. But you probably won't be too far behind the
So this is RB1?
Yep. It's as far as I can take you. So, yeah, head southwest through the forest and we'll take back up the road.
Thank you.
No worries. Good luck out there.
Just listen for the sounds of gunfire.
Oh, there's some.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, hey, there's a tank. Two tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, we should break off to the southwest here. Our group should be moving through the forest. Well, there's a road here. Yeah, okay, this is where Charlie 4 now.
This is, say again, Charlie 4?
Charlie 4 was that, yeah, that crossroad right there.
Check. Yeah, you're right.
So we should be going this way. Stop order should be Bravo. So yeah, it sounds like Bravo's at the crossing. Charlie 5 marker.
Yeah.
Nem? 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 Hey.
What's up with you, Sam?
Well, I keep getting signature mismatches for various things.
come together and just bring in the charity love, there's no going back. It's the best thing in the world.
My passion for this stems from when 2 of my kids were born, they had to spend a lot of time in the hospital.
As many of you know, Extra Life began in 2008 in memory of Victoria Enman. At that time, it was a local fundraiser for Texas Children's Hospital, where Tori fought her cancer.
At Victoria's house. Hi!
My name is Joellen Inman, and I'm Tori's mom. And this game is not over.
Some families, the game is just beginning. We've got a long ways to go. That road is a long road.
This is your Extra Life money in action.
CHOC is actually building an entire wing dedicated to children's mental health.
I play video games, I raise money for Extra Life.
I am streaming for Amy.
El 100% de ese dinero se queda local en tu hospital o fundación a la que tú representes.
There's something is totally...
Extra Life Super Mega Ultra Charity Live Stream Extravaganza of Awesomeness.
Wait for this. Good luck. Let me know if you find something that fixes it. But the fact that there's been multiple things now, including a DLC that